welcome. I'm Hrish, co-founder and CEO of SuperWorld, a virtual world in augmented reality where creativity and entrepreneurship come together on one decentralized platform. From the Empire State Building to the Sydney Opera House to some of the more obscure places on Earth, in SuperWorld, our world is yours. Yours to buy, yours to sell, yours to create, and yours to explore. SuperWorld is mapped on top of the real world to create over 64 billion unique plots of land, with each plot measuring roughly 100 meters by 100 meters of real-world space. To give you an idea, one plot of SuperWorld AR real estate is about the size of Yankee Stadium. Ready to get started? Find land to cultivate for its strategic real estate location as a digital asset or that holds sentimental value for you. Buying and selling virtual real estate in SuperWorld is easy, as all transactions take place securely on the Ethereum blockchain, and every plot of land is represented by a non-fungible token on the ERC 721 standard. Personalize your world in AR through interactive 3D objects, animation, photos, videos, and text to truly make a world of your own. Ready to find your peace on Earth? Join us in SuperWorld.
Hi everybody, it's great to see you. My name is Marta, and together with our CEO and co-founder Hrish, we're going to introduce you to SuperWorld, as well as we will today talk about a very new and super exciting thing that we have introduced into SuperWorld very recently, which is called SuperWorld X. It is our new token. And yes, today you will find out how with the SuperWorld X token, you can thrive on the SuperWorld platform. So yeah, thank you, Hrish, for being here today. And, as always, introducing people and always having the patience to explain thoroughly what SuperWorld is about. Maybe drop a few words from yourself and let's get started.
Yeah, it's awesome to be here. I'm really excited about SuperWorld show live today. We're going to be covering some very fundamental aspects of SuperWorld and the idea of live to earn, which I think is really going to be transformative to people's lives, and I think this is the future of how we're going to live in a way. And, again, I want to explain what it is and how we think about it. And, some of the stuff that we're going to talk about is things that we're already doing in our real lives in different ways. And, how do we bring our virtual life and physical life together? What does that really mean? Like your virtual life, what a lot of people, are still trying to wrap their heads around what is their virtual life, or what's their physical life, and how is that, how do you optimize that? A lot of people feel like they're being sucked into a virtual world, which is not what we're about. We're about, keeping you in the physical world. So, I think we're going to cover a lot of really cool topics today, and I'm excited to jump into this discussion and talk about the things that we've recently launched and even what's coming. So excited.
Yeah, it will not only be about what new things we have introduced in SuperWorld. I do believe that the concept of live to earn is somewhat philosophical. So I'm also very excited to listen to you. Because you're a true visionary, and I also believe you have great storytelling skills. So very excited. And also in the meantime, I'm already saying hello to Hisa and Ted on YouTube. We're very happy to see you here again. And so I believe we should just get started. I will just mention today the format will be slightly different. Our screens will be the same size as the presentation, so everything is working in case everybody's wondering. So for the new people, I believe it's always good for you to give a little bit of background of where you come from, because of course it has a huge impact on the super world.
Yeah, thank you. And by the way, just for everyone listening, the reason we did the screens the same size is we're going to start sharing more content from these screens, and want to make sure that the clarity on the screens is good. So, in case you're wondering why we're doing that, we're going to test that out. But yeah, let me kind of just give you my background, so you understand kind of how we got here, and how we built SuperWorld. And my background kind of has taken me all over to a different number of industries. So I started off in consulting, worked in investment banking. I was at UBS and HSBC in New York. Started off in real estate investment banking, of all places. We're again pioneering virtual real estate. So I come from a very strong physical real estate background. And I think that will help us, as we think about virtual real estate and how that connects to physical real estate. I got into venture capital after that, worked for an amazing guy named Adam Stern, learned a lot from him. He's actually one of our investors at SuperWorld. And had a great experience working in New York in venture capital. Ended up going over to Eastern Europe and starting a venture capital fund called East Labs. Also got involved in starting one I'm on the board of called Tech Minsk in Minsk, Belarus. And then after that, was an early employee, first biz dev at TopTal, which is a talent marketplace backed by Andreessen Horowitz. Helped build and grow and scale TopTal. Learned a lot there. And then previous to SuperWorld, I started Rogue Initiative Studios, which is a film, television, gaming, and virtual reality studio in Los Angeles. My co-founder had produced Call of Duty, Modern Warfare series, and Ghosts. And my production partner there is Michael Bay, the action director. And what I learned from that experience is, a Michael Bay movie and a Call of Duty game are the same thing, right? They come from an engine, and you can build anything you want in an engine. A Michael Bay movie and a Call of Duty game, Michael Bay movie looks like a video game. Call of Duty game looks like a movie, right? And what happened was, a few years later, Pokemon Go had come out about 6 years ago, and we thought to ourselves, my co-founder Max and I, we thought, what if we could empower anyone to build anything they want in real world locations? So we saw what Pokemon Go did, people looking for Pokemon. And we thought, why does it have to be just Pokemon? What if it's about your business? What if it's about your personal life? What if it's about, a philanthropic cause that you're working for or helping to build? How could you empower people to build a virtual world on top of the real world? And how could that interact with the physical world? And then what we did was we divided Earth into 64 billion properties, which I'll go into. But that was the idea of SuperWorld, and that's kind of the flow in my background to help kind of get us here too.
Perfect. Thank you, Hrish. And now let's have a quick overview of today's session. So, of course, besides talking about SuperWorld for all the new people or people who would like to learn more about what we are doing in SuperWorld, as always, we have some special offers for you, also including specifically for SuperWorld X. Mm-hmm. And we will discuss all the opportunities that SuperWorld X, as well as the concept of live to earn, offers to you guys. So, and also in the end of the session, we're going to have a Q&A. So if you have any questions, we're going to answer them in the end of the session. There are no stupid questions, so please drop them ahead in the chat wherever you're watching us from, whether it's YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, whatever you want, just drop us the question. We're going to answer this. If you would like to say hello to us, that's always very nice to see who's watching us. And if you also are in a good mood today, especially, just drop us where you are watching us from. Yes, I am, for example, now based currently in Berlin. I think you, Hrish, are currently in Valencia.
That's right, in Spain.
Yeah, exactly. So let's get started. And let's introduce people into SuperWorld just very briefly. So yeah, let's go, Hrish.
Yeah, so I kind of started giving you guys the vision of SuperWorld, but to go further in depth, SuperWorld's a virtual world mapped on top of the real world. So I have a world, you have a world, brands have worlds. Again, what we wanted to do is build tools so anyone can use those tools to create, discover, and monetize any type of content anywhere in real world locations, accessible from anywhere, right? And then what we did was we divided Earth into 64 billion properties, 0.01, 0.01 longitude, latitude, geospatial media assets covering Earth. And each one of those digital assets enables you to become a stakeholder in that location. So you can activate monetization from advertising, e-commerce, digital commerce, data, analytics, gaming, DeFi, live and virtual events. We have a partnership with SI Tickets by Sports Illustrated. But really, what we want to do is enable ways for you to create opportunities and to build in locations on Earth and enable those creations to be viewed from anywhere on Earth. And there's a lot more to kind of the high level vision of SuperWorld. And I would say it's all about how do you enhance people's real lives. How do we build a virtual world that actually enhance your physical life? We want to be a life enhancing platform, not a life escaping platform. I always say I have 2 kids. The last thing I want to do is build a virtual world that sucks them into it. It's not what we want to do. We want to keep you in the physical world. I want you to out there doing things in the real world. So that's a big part of our vision. And then the other part of our vision, which I think is really important, which again, we have such a great community. And that part of the vision is how can we all work together to build a virtual world, a decentralized virtual world that actually improves Earth. So can we use these technologies not only to empower ourselves, which is what Live to Earn's about, and we'll talk about that, but also how do we collectively build a virtual world that actually improves humanity. So that's the vision of SuperWorld. And if you love that vision, would love to have you involved in SuperWorld if you're listening to this and you haven't yet taken the plunge. So I'd love to talk to you and get you involved in what we're doing.
Okay, thank you, Hrish. And now let's introduce people into the offers of the week.
Okay.
So as far as I know, this week we are having Austin.
Yeah, Austin, Texas. So every week we do a new city in the world, and we found that it's a really amazing way to highlight places in the world that we love and places in the world that our super citizens are active in, and where there's events that are happening and things like that. So every week it's slightly a different part of the world. This week it's Austin. I've lived in Austin. I love Austin. So if you do too, it's a great opportunity to come over and buy virtual real estate in Austin this week. We have a promotion every week for every geography that we cover. So if you haven't gotten any virtual real estate in SuperWorld and you're a fan of Austin, and or you own virtual real estate in SuperWorld and you don't own any yet in Austin, definitely take advantage of the Austin offer this week. Buy 3 properties in Austin, get 2 bonus plots anywhere in the world for free, or buy 20 and get 15 anywhere in the world. So you can buy a whole neighborhood or something. And we have a bulk buy feature on the left of the screen when you're on your screen. Use bulk buy. It's a lot easier. You click and then you can just click all over the map and buy those 20 properties pretty easily.
Okay, and
our super
also
offer, our super offer is another really great way to jump on board. Buy your first plot, and we'll give you a bonus plot, and we'll also give you benefits which are worth about $1,100. So again, there's access to our SuperWorld school, where you can learn about the metaverse and learn about technologies like immersive tech, Web3, and AI. And we'll continue to add more and more educational content to SuperWorld School, as well as there's a digital twin consultation there included in that. We'll also, invite you to events and other things that we're having with SuperWorld. You'll get a bonus plot as well. But this super offer is a really great way to jump in. So if you're a new customer and you've never bought anything in SuperWorld, you buy one plot and you'll get a really awesome onboarding into all the other things that we're offering at SuperWorld.
Yes, and finally, the offer specifically for SuperWorld X.
Yes. So, one of our super citizens actually talked to me about this the other day, because I make a lot of videos when I am in different places in the world about our virtual real estate. And, what I'd love to hear from all of you is that we'd love to see videos of places that you own in SuperWorld, and maybe a plot of virtual real estate that you love, and make a video about it, about why you love that place. Tell your story, whatever it is, about why you bought that place. Maybe it's a place you grew up in, maybe you have a business there, maybe it's a place you go on vacation. We'd love to hear your story, and you will automatically get 500 SuperWorld X SWX tokens for doing that. So we'd love to start rewarding you, but we'd love to hear your story. I think this is like one of the best parts of SuperWorld is we can hear your story, and everyone else can hear your story about why places in the world are important to you.
Okay, perfect. So let's move on, and now it's the time to introduce people into the SuperWorld X token. By the way, yes, I cannot see your name, but I also marked your comment here because I think it's quite interesting. So we'll also add it to the Q&A session later. Thanks.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Hi to Belgium. We'll get you up in a second. We'll address that. But yeah, should I jump in and talk about Live to Earn? Okay.
Yes, let's do it.
So, the concept of Live to Earn really, is inspired by this concept that many of you have probably heard about, which is called Play to Earn, right? Play to Earn is the idea that you play a video game and you get points for doing that. And then with crypto, those points then could be redeemed for actual fiat currency. And some people actually, around the world have started playing games to take the place of maybe a job, right? So that people are playing video games, instead of maybe doing the job that they would normally do. And the thing about that is, while that's great if you like playing video games, or if you want to do that, Play to Earn's a very interesting concept. But what we were thinking is, what if you could bring tokenization and incentives into your real life, so you could actually do the things that you actually love to do in the real world. So whether it's, if you like going and running marathons, could Nike give you points for doing that? Or if you like taking trips, would you maybe a hotel group or an airline give you points for doing that? And we those loyalty points exist, obviously, right? So it's not that far off from things that are happening already. But what if you could it combine all of those parts of your life together, whether it's a virtual part of your life or a physical part of your life, and really bring all of those brands and experiences and things that you love to do all together into one, uh, you know, coexisting framework. And that's what Live to Earn's about. And that's what we're building at Superworld, which is how can we bring all of these things in your physical life that you love to do, all these things in your virtual life that you love to do, and bring them together into what we call Live to Earn. And essentially, I'd say do what you love to do, which is what I'm really excited about, because AI is coming, and we see how quickly it's coming. Um, you give it 3 or 4 years, there's going to be a lot of jobs that an AI is definitely going to better enable or maybe even replace. And so a lot of us are going to have to be more creative in our lives. And a lot of us are already, being more creative, whether it's being a creator of content or, taking on a hobby that maybe, you want to pursue as more of a livelihood. But what if there was ways to actually, market that hobby or market your business or utilize these technologies, utilize tokenization in a way that you can actually grow a business, and utilize these tools in a way that's very global, regardless of where you're located. And so that's what Live to Earn's about. I think several years ago, when we're kind of living through COVID, we all started being a lot more virtual, whether we liked it or not. And don't get me wrong, I actually like being, in physical places and being with people in person. But everyone has their preferences, and sometimes it's easier to be virtual, and sometimes it's preferable to be in person. But I think a lot of us want to have that flexibility to be more virtual when we want to, and to be able to maybe avoid a commute or be able to be more remote in certain times. And so Live to Earn's really about that too. How do you bring these technologies and bring a system together where you can actually benefit from activities that you enjoy doing, and be able to market those activities globally using immersive tech and Web3 and AI. And so Live to Earn's a very, very, fundamental part of the vision that we're building at Superworld. And I've tried to explain it using examples, but we're going to show off some of the things that we've just launched to show you how we're going to, start integrating that into your real life, how we're going to start bringing in brands into those experiences. So now you can start doing things that you enjoy doing, and brands will start enabling you to engage with them in ways that are mutually beneficial, right? If you enjoy in being involved in a brand or a cause or a mission, whatever it happens to be, we want to make that really part of this system that we call Live to Earn. So that's what it is. Hopefully that was brought some clarity, but probably over the course of this show, we'll provide more and more clarity, and we'll have some good questions too.
Yes. Just to also give you guys an overview. Now we talked about the philosophy behind Live to Earn and SuperWorld X. Next, we're going to go a bit more into the basics, what you can do, what you're going to be rewarded with, how, and so on. And in the end, we're going to show you a demo of the SuperWorld X token and how you can interact with it. So yeah, stay with us.
So what is SuperWorld token? So first of all, I just want to make clear, this is SuperWorld's internal digital currency. Okay. This isn't a cryptocurrency. It is an internal currency that we launched. And what it does is it facilitates transactions rewards and engagements inside of SuperWorld. It bridges the gap between the virtual world and the real world, the physical world, as we're talking about. So you'll be able to see things that are use cases here from SWX that kind of start bridging that gap. And what we believe is that it'll enable our super citizens to interact with each other, to do peer-to-peer commerce, to be able to interact with brands that they love, to enable brands to also come in and interact with super citizens and users, and encourage super citizens and users to engage with those brands in real world locations. So we're really excited about the potential and all of the use cases that SuperWorld X is going to provide in SuperWorld. And we'll be rolling those out, but we're just really excited to explain more about what it is and how it works. But that's kind of generally a high level of what SuperWorld X is all about, or SWX.
And now we want to explain to our audience how the tokens work. Basically.
Okay.
What's the mechanism?
Yeah, sure. I'll do kind of a screen share of some examples.
So we will do also. So the time for the demo is in the end, because there are also like a lot of important details that we don't want people to miss out on. I also cannot wait to do that. For now, we're still having a little bit of theory.
Okay. Yeah. Got it. So to go on, how it effectively will work. You can think of it as in some ways kind of like a loyalty program. In other ways, as a reward mechanism and a transactional currency. So you can transact using SWX and SuperWorld, but you also receive rewards for doing certain things in SuperWorld. And so SWX, SuperWorld X, it will be at the core of all your interactions with SuperWorld. What we want to do is, again, back to live to earn, everything you do in SuperWorld, we want you to be able to benefit by earning SWX. We actually have a feature that we launched, which I highly recommend everyone to start taking advantage of this. Is just come to SuperWorld every day, and we have a daily prize. And you come to the map, look at some properties, check out some stuff on the map. You guys can try it right now. Sign in, log in, visit our map. I think you stick around for 30 seconds or so, looking at things, make a post, do some stuff. But you'll have the opportunity to enter our daily prize, and it'll reward you kind of this, award of SWX. It's totally random, so it's kind of cool. But it allows you to, start literally earning for every action you do. If you upload content, if you build a business profile, if you buy virtual real estate, if you relist your property. I'll show you a screenshot of all the things that are currently being awarded. But as we start getting more and more brand interactions, which we'll talk about as well, those rewards and those ways to access and transact will also increase. So we're very excited about that. And then the other beauty of this is SWX tokens can be purchased with fiat currency. So come over and buy SWX. And the reason you want to do that as well is because we each about 1,000 SWX right now is priced at about $50. So it's $50 for 1,000 SWX. And the price of a property in SuperWorld is priced at 1,000 SWX. So we've kind of set that price now. And the beauty of that is, you can obviously buy virtual real estate in SuperWorld using Matic, which we have Matic. But Matic's currently priced at about $58, um, and for 100 Matic, and so a price of a property is about $58, or whatever. It changes all the time. But if you buy SWX, you kind of have this baseline price, and currently it's actually a better deal to buy 1,000 SWX. Not to say that could change. I mean, that could change in the future if there's a big change in pricing for whatever reason. But currently, it's a good deal to come over and buy SWX, and then again, you can use it for all kinds of other things that are coming too. So go ahead and come over, and you can use it to actually just use fiat to buy it, and we'll be experimenting with a lot of different kind of models here as well, as we release kind of different ways to use it too.
Okay, so thanks, Hrish, for the explanation of all the mechanism behind the SuperWorld X token. And now let's explain to people how they can earn it. You already mentioned this before a bit, but we can also go a bit more in detail here. So again, every interaction in SuperWorld, you can earn SWX. So, you upload content, you'll get SWX. You interact with SuperWorld, just come to SuperWorld every day, and you can benefit from receiving SWX. As I said, there's a daily award for it. You can participate in events. You can buy tickets from SI Tickets, and get SWX for doing that. So every action that you do, we'll integrate SWX into every single thing that happens in SuperWorld. And then, as we build out worlds, I should say, which is coming very soon, brands and users will be able to create their own worlds, and SWX will be part of those worlds. And so if you have SWX and you offer SWX and receive SWX, it'll really power not only SuperWorld, but it'll power every world that is going to be built in SuperWorld. Also here a couple of examples of how people exactly get rewarded. You also see more details later, but also here just 3 examples of exactly how much people get for interacting with us.
So these are some exact numbers. We'll do a screenshot later to show you where you can find more information on this on the website. But buy one property on the map, you get 100 SWX. Buy one property in the marketplace, you get 300. Buy 5+ properties, and you'll get 150 times every property that you buy. So just an example on the property side, how that works. You buy properties.
And now the next slide.
Go to you. Okay, so this is the one where I'm going to show it off, or no, not yet.
I mean, we can already do it. It's planned for the right after this one. So yes, basically you can already show the screen share of the SuperWorld X token.
Okay. So how do you buy it, or how do you kind of learn more about it? You can go to your user profile, and I'll do a screen share. So if I'm going to my dashboard, this is my user profile. So if you go, I'm going to start from the beginning here. So if I start on the map, which a lot of you are familiar with the SuperWorld map, I'll do kind of a walkthrough of SuperWorld too. So this week we're, covering Austin. So this is virtual real estate in Austin. I zoom in. So if you look at these numbers right here, this is how many properties that have been bought in this zone. Looks about 150 or something. So I zoom in. Anything in blue has been bought. Anything in orange is repriced or listed, right? That's how that works. Again, if I zoom out, you can see literally almost every place you can imagine. I'm just in the US right now, but literally people are buying up kind of property in every place, and you become a stakeholder in these locations. Again, each property is 0.01, 0.01. I'm gonna zoom in on Chicago. I'm a big fan of travel and different places, so I love checking out different places. But each plot's 0.01, 0.01 longitude, latitude, right? Again, the price is $55 for an unpurchased plot. Bulk buys over here. The other feature that I want to mention as well that we just launched over the weekend too is called Property Insights. So it's on the left, and we'll show you an insight on the property, points, content uploads, content views, property views. So we'll start showing you for every single property in SuperWorld what these insights are, right? And so over time, some of these things will increase. So look, this one already just got one property view, right? So, over time, these will kind of increase, obviously, and you can do things to increase these things. You can upload content, and you can, again, you can share your property to get views as well, or share your content to get views and share your properties, and the share button's right here, okay? Let me show you something else. This is SI tickets. So this is an example of how to buy tickets in SuperWorld for events. You come here, you click, you can buy ticket. We have SI, Sports Illustrated has added 250,000 events onto the SuperWorld map. So literally anything you can imagine, sports, concerts, and theater events happening literally all over the world, mainly North America, on the map. So you can come over to SuperWorld. I'm going to zoom in on New York City here. But you can buy tickets to those events, right? Here's something at Gramercy Theater in New York. Looks like a hard rock heavy metal concert. And if you own the property here, right? If I zoom in here, let me check this out. So here's Gramercy Theater. Boom, this property is actually available, it looks like. You know what? I don't think that's actually available. Let me refresh, because yeah, okay, there we go. So let's see what's going on there. So if I zoom in on this, and I think I was here. So there you go, Gramercy Theater. We'll zoom in to show you guys how this works. So, so it is, there's an opening here. So if you own this property on the map, then you get paid whenever anyone buys tickets to Gramercy Theater through our Sports Illustrated integration on the map. And you can just click here and you can share this link, right? You can share this event on your social networks, tell your friends about it. So basically, you're a stakeholder in this location, and you're activating monetization, in this case, from the ticketing filter. So now I'm going to get to the topic that I was actually planning on talking about, which is showing you our SWX. So you go to my profile, okay, which is up over here, and you go down and you got your super dashboard now. And this dashboard is basically, shows off all the properties you own, how many property views that you've already gotten, amount of SWX that you got, right? And then you can click here to see how it works. So this kind of explains to you more about monetization, the point system, levels, property levels. This kind of goes through an explanation of a lot of the things that we're talking about. But if I click here and learn more, you can learn more about the tokens. And then you can see information here about all the different actions that will earn you SWX. So here it is, buy one property on the map, buy one property in marketplace. Here's all the different actions. You listed your plot, you sold your property, NFT sold on the plot you own, NFT sold on a neighboring plot. So tickets, this is coming very soon. It's just actually it's already live, but it's just gonna launch. It'll come. This will kind of happen, activate every month, I think. So once a month. So that's what it means by coming soon. And then you can share your dashboard to socials to get points as well. Again, more actions here. Register in SuperWorld, connect your wallet, create a business profile. So you see lots and lots of stuff. And then Worlds, which is coming really soon, is going to have lots more stuff for you to do too. And this is where the brands are going to be very integral into Worlds, brands and other user experiences. And then how do you buy SuperWorld tokens? You can click here. You can get tokens. It's super easy. You click, and then it's literally, our partner is Tilia. You just accept their terms of service, and then PayPal, credit card. So super easy to buy and add money, add SWX to your balance. But that's kind of the quick explanation of SuperWorld, the product, as well as how SuperWorld X works for everyone.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Hrish. Yeah. I see we're getting already a lot of questions. I just want to let you know, guys, that I am saving all of these questions and we'll answer them in the end of the session, which is we're slowly getting there. So I would say this was the last point of what the SuperWorld X is. So yeah, we already covered all these topics. So I do believe that we can just move forward. The demo was also already there. And in case you have some more questions, as I mentioned, of course, we have a Q&A session prepared for you. But if you would like to get directly in contact with us and you really want a perfect one-on-one, approach, just send us an email on customer support at superworldapp.com. It is shared here on the screen right now. And our team will get in contact with you and will help you get through the process to get your SuperWorld X tokens or whatever else you need regarding SuperWorld X token. So I am just going to keep the email here for now on the screen for the recap. After the recap, oh yeah, true, we still have the offers to go. So for now, we're still going to do the recap of the offers for the week. For the end of the session, then we do the recap and then we have the Q&A.
Awesome. Again, we highlight a city every week. This week it's Austin. So buy 3, get 2 in Austin, or buy 20 plots in Austin, get 15 anywhere in the world. If you love Austin, it's a great week to buy Austin. A lot of awesome places in Austin. Check out where events are happening on SI tickets. That's an interesting way of figuring out cool places to buy, or places that maybe you're interested in, historical places. There's a lot of history there. There's a lot of, natural geography there. The idea is you become a stakeholder in places in the world when you buy virtual real estate in SuperWorld. So buy places you're connected to. People always ask me like, hey, Hrish, where do you recommend that I buy virtual real estate in SuperWorld? And I always say, find places in the world that you love. Places in the world maybe you want to build something in, or showcase something, or showcase a piece of art, or show off your business or market yourself. Get places that you care about. That would be the best kind of advice I have. So Austin's an amazing place, and it's growing so fast too. One of the fastest growing cities in the US. So an amazing place to acquire virtual real estate.
Always something new to learn.
And our super offer, which is for first-time customers, it's an easy way to get in, buy your first plot, and get $1,100 of benefits. So you get a bonus plot You also get a digital twin consultation. So we'll spend time with you, teaching you about digital twins, how you get into that, if you have commercial real estate, etc. And then how to, have more information on SuperWorld School and the metaverse and immersive tech and Web3 and AI, and also access to events and other things. So it's a great way to onboard onto SuperWorld. So the super offer is a great way to get on board, and we should add some SWX to that too. We'll figure that out. We'll make it better.
And speaking of SWX.
Yeah. And finally,
go ahead.
The other cool thing is we want you to start telling a story about places that you love. So if you own virtual real estate in SuperWorld, or you want to own virtual real estate in SuperWorld and you love a place in the world, make a video and tell a story about it. By the way, you don't have to own virtual real estate to do this. If you do, and you want to tell a story about virtual real estate you own, make a video and tag us on socials, Twitter or YouTube or Facebook, you name it. Hopefully all of them, that'd be better. And we'll give you 500 SWX for publishing a video about a place or places that you love. And tag us, please.
Perfect. Thank you, Hrish. And now it's time for recap and Q&A. So let's just quickly wrap it up and just give some key points of what SuperWorld X is and why people should care about the new SuperWorld X feature.
Yeah, so as a recap, I think what we want to get across to everyone is the vision of SuperWorld is we're building what we call live to earn, which is the idea of we're bringing your virtual life and your physical life together. And in doing so, what we want to do is provide you with a way of receiving benefits and incentives for doing things that you love and interacting with brands, or going out and doing something in the real world, connecting with other super citizens, transacting. I mean, you name it, right? And so we launched SuperWorld X, which is our internal currency, which enables you to benefit from those activities, and also as a way of transacting and being able to earn from the commerce that you're also doing in SuperWorld. It's a totally regulated token, and we're very excited about releasing that. And we've talked about it this whole show, but if you want to learn more, come over to our website and you can learn more about it. Go to your user profile. You'll probably spend a little time on the map and you'll start earning it immediately. But yeah, happy to tell you more, and we're going to have more and more integrations with it. So we can, we'll have more and more ways for you to earn SuperWorld X over time too.
Perfect. Thank you, Hrish. Mm-hmm. So let's get started with the Q&A. I cannot wait. I saw a lot of very interesting comments and questions. So let's start with the first one. I'm curious. There's an idea. Have you talked with Joe Rogan? Why not give him a piece of land for marketing purpose?
Yeah, it's a great idea. We would love to talk to Joe Rogan. If you know him, definitely connect us. But yeah, Joe would be amazing for this show and for SuperWorld in general. Maybe we'd have a Joe Rogan world where we'd have all his content in SuperWorld, and definitely would be open to giving him a piece of land for marketing purposes. So great idea. And, open, if anyone's listening to this and knows Joe or knows other people who you think would be beneficial to help us spread our mission at SuperWorld, always open. Please message me or message the team. Outreach@superworldapp.com is the best way to reach me and the team. Outreach@superworldapp.com.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you
So,
for that.
next question.
Yeah.
Any OMA3 Alliance updates or speculation?
Yeah, as an update, so this is more of a question related to my role on the board of OMA3, which is the Open Metaverse Alliance. Yeah, lots of updates with OMA3. The best place to find information on OMA3 is probably the website, oma3.org. And
Yeah, sorry.
there's going to be lots of announcements coming out from OMA3, which I don't think I can announce yet because they're not yet announced. But yeah, lots of exciting stuff. And OMA3, for everyone who's listening, is an alliance that has been brought together from all of the top virtual worlds that exist out there. And SuperWorld's proud to be one of them. And again, I'm on the board of OMA3, and it's also about how to bring interoperability to the metaverse. So how do we bring, all of these assets and all the things that we're doing together in a way where we have interoperability, and how do we work together to create those systems that are so important to creating interoperability? So that's the update that I can talk about, but there will be some press releases soon with more updates and more information. So thanks for that question.
Would you use the same method buying land with SWX versus Matic?
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to buy SWX first, and then once you have that in your wallet, then yeah, it's the same process. So the only difference would be you need to buy SWX, and then you can use the same process. And there might be some things there that we'll have to tweak and make it better. We just launched this. So let us know if we can improve that process. We're always trying to improve stuff. But yeah, the only difference would be in terms of SWX, you come to SuperWorld, you buy it, and then you have that in your wallet, and then you can use that process to get SuperWorld tokens, SuperWorld bonus coin tokens, which will enable you to purchase the real estate. So that's the process difference between SWX and Matic.
So $50 for 1,000 SWX. Is it also possible to go the other way, cash out?
Yeah. So, the way it works is there's kind of two points here. So there's SWX tokens that are received just internally from doing actions in Superworld. And those are internal. So those are used for any kind of internal use cases. Like I mentioned to you, like, getting a plot of land or, potentially getting other kind of goods or services in Superworld that will kind of launch and release. I just gave you an example of making a video and getting 500 SWX. So those are kind of more internal. But if you're involved in a transaction of some sort, so you've received monetization from something, or you've sold a digital item to some other super citizen or another user, or you've interacted with a brand and you've bought or sold something. Now that is that actually can be pulled out. You can cash out transactions that you're involved in. So we'll have more clarity on that, and we'll give you more information. But that's the thing to keep in mind here. SWX is a regulated internal token that we've launched in partnership with Tilia. And the point is that it can be cashed out, but it can be cashed out if it is related to a transaction where you are receiving monetization, or you've sold something. the kind of the SWX that you receive for just like actions that you're doing in SuperWorld, that can't be cashed out. That can be only used for things that you're doing internally. Hopefully that makes sense, but we'll have more information on it. Good question.
Even though you're not the organizer of the event, oh, sorry, I can hear myself. So I will just clarify that with you. I know when the question was dropped. So it was when you were showing the SI tickets feature. And you were saying that if you own the piece of land, you'll get paid every time a person buys a ticket.
Yes, good question. So yeah, that's very important. So yeah, so if you own virtual real estate in locations where SI Tickets is selling tickets to events, so I gave an example of something happening, I think at the Gramercy Theater in New York as an example, or wherever it happens to be in the world, and you own the virtual real estate in that location, then you'll activate monetization from that ticketing that happens there, and you'll receive, in this case for event ticketing, 20% of the revenue that's earned at that location from ticketing sales. So you can become a stakeholder in live and virtual events that are happening in real world locations. So I showed you an example of a live event, right? Live concerts, sporting and theater events. But you can also, someone else or you could create a virtual event and sell tickets to it, right? So Marta could create an event somewhere and sell tickets to that event, and that event can be totally virtual. But if you own property where she's created that event, you would actually also benefit from the ticketing monetization that happens at that location because you own virtual real estate there. And so that's what we mean by you become a stakeholder in a real world location. And then again, with Worlds, we're going to enable more and more opportunities for users and brands to create activity and monetization in real world locations. So that's the idea of creating Worlds, because it gives you the opportunity to build and to create and monetize from creating content. And so again, that's exactly how that works.
Will there be a SWX airdrop?
So SWX, just to be clear, is not a cryptocurrency. It's not like it's not on a market or anything like that. It's a regulated internal currency at SuperWorld. Again, it can be cashed out. I gave you the examples of how that works, and we'll have more information on that if you need any. But it's not a crypto public utility token. Probably what you're thinking about. Will we have one of those in the future? Potentially, yes. That is definitely on the roadmap. But what we want to do is launch SWX as a way for super citizens to start utilizing our currency in SuperWorld. Like I said, you could do peer-to-peer transactions. You can do all kinds of things. There's full KYC and other aspects of this. And in the future, when we launch a public utility token, whenever that is, timing wise, then there might be an airdrop for that. But this is totally distinct in terms of strategy from the token that we have now. That being said, if you own virtual real estate in SuperWorld already, you would receive SWX as well. So that would be coming, or it's already been sent to you. Some of that is still processing. If you come to the website and you spend time on the map, you'll be able to receive SWX token. So there's a lot of things that that you can do to get SWS token by, kind of spending time with SuperWorld or interacting with SuperWorld.
How do worlds work? You indicated that brands can have their own world. So that if I own the Pepsi Center, for example, Pepsi will be able to put up their content on my virtual land. There is another follow-up after this one. Will Pepsi be then competing with my content? How can they do this without my permission?
So just to be clear, when you buy virtual real estate in SuperWorld, you're buying 0.01, 0.01 longitude, latitude. So just to be technically correct, you are buying virtual real estate in a location that covers Earth. In this case, potentially where Pepsi Center is located, which I don't know exactly what city that's in. But again, you're buying 0.01, 0.01 longitude, latitude of virtual real estate, a global, a geospatial media asset in that location. And again, you become a stakeholder in that location in the unlimited number of filters that can be created in that location, right? So I could create content in that location. Marta can create content in that location. Pepsi could create content in that location. Anyone can create content anywhere in the world. So there's no limit on where anyone can create content. But as a owner of a plot of virtual real estate, you are a stakeholder in that location. And as again, that asset is a media asset. You've placed content there. You've created things there. As we showed you in the analytics, you're likely getting views on that location. You're getting views on your content. And you're benefiting from the activities and actions that are happening in that location. So you're monetizing from content that's happening or content that's being created there in that location, from everything, from all activity that's happening there. And that's where the virtual real estate analytics comes in. So just to be clear, when you own virtual real estate, it's not like you control that location, right? So if Marta, for example, owns Times Square in SuperWorld, which would be a great property for her to own, or if you own downtown in your city, wherever that is, I can put content in downtown of your city right now, or anywhere in the world. And actually, as an owner of that, you are activating monetization from the unlimited number of filters that can exist in that location. And that's what Worlds is about. Worlds is about enabling users and brands to create those unlimited number of filters. And so we're excited about launching that product, which is coming very soon, because that's going to start really enabling us to scale with users and brands creating worlds.
There's also a follow-up question from Forever Rich. So monetization is paid out in SWX. Is SWX traded on major exchanges?
Yeah, so this was kind of addressed earlier. This is SWX is not a public cryptocurrency. It's an internal currency at SuperWorld. So again, the first part of that is monetization paid out in SWX. Yes, it is. And it can be cashed out. So monetization is an example of something that can be cashed out. Again, we're running a regulated token managed by Tilia, who's our partner. Again, there's KYC on that, and you'll see all the process there. But yeah, we want to make it really easy for you to transact in SuperWorld, bringing the virtual and physical world together. And then, are we traded on major exchanges? No, we're not, because it's an internal currency for SuperWorld. The price of SWX currently is $50 for 1,000 SWX, and that's the price that it's currently at. It's not traded on any exchanges. That's the price of what it is.
So Anafi is asking if today is the official launch of monetization in SuperWorld.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's today or maybe it was over the weekend. We'll, slowly get more and more the word out. But yeah, it's definitely on. We've activated it, and this is going to be a process of slowly kind of, releasing opportunities now for monetization to occur. SI tickets. And what we've done with Sports Illustrated is, one way of monetization already. So go ahead, if you own virtual real estate in real world locations, you can start, promoting those events or sharing those events. You're a stakeholder there in all those events. And very soon we'll have monetization from other things as well, from ticketing, from NFT sales, from digital commerce, all kinds of things. So, and Worlds is going to usher in a lot more ways to also monetize and work with brands. So we're very excited about that.
There are like two pieces together again, so I will first read the first one.
Sure.
What was the biggest resale of a plot on SuperWorld? Because I'm looking at some of the plots, and some people are wanting 150, 180k Matic or 100k US dollars. Why would people think they are worth that much, especially considering how young this whole thing is?
Yeah, that's a great question. The thing that we see in terms of user behavior, and I have a lot of conversations with our super citizens, and the thing that gets me really excited, and I'll tell you just a real world story. I was talking to someone the other day, on Monday actually, about SuperWorld, and they were asking me all these questions about how it works, and just virtual real estate and your physical life. And it's someone who has a car business, so they're selling cars. And and they're based in Dubai actually. And so I was explaining them all these things. And the coolest thing and that's actually no one's ever actually showed me this before, but this was really cool to see. At the end of the conversation, he showed me his arm, and he was like, I have goosebumps all over my body. and he was like really excited, right? And so it was the first time I'd ever seen someone like show me goosebumps from hearing about the story of Superworld. But the reason I tell you this story is because I think a lot of us in this community, or those of us that have maybe been around for a while or understand the vision of what we're building, a lot of people, another thing I hear all the time is, oh, I bought Superworld for my kids, or I'm buying Superworld for my nephew, or I'm buying, what I hear that all the time, to be honest. And so back to your question about, worth, first and foremost, I want you to understand that, like, we have no idea how much they're worth, right? I mean, this is a virtual world on top of the real world. And, these are digital assets, they're digital media assets. And, you kind of are the owner of those, and you ultimately are, pricing that to whatever you want. It's your decision. There's no one else involved in that pricing than the person who owns the virtual real estate. So, first and foremost, it's kind of your property. You own it, and you can decide. It's a collectible, right? It's a collectible, and it's a digital asset, and you decide what it is that you want to price it at. But what's cool is that I hear these stories about different people's opinions about why they bought a place. Some people talk to me nostalgically about how they grew up somewhere, or how they got married somewhere. Some people talk to me about how their business is located there, or they go on vacation somewhere. So, ultimately, I think, all of us, and this is why I said buy places you love, buy places you're connected to, because that's what people do. And so when you do that, you kind of are kind of coming up with whatever that value is for you. And what's cool about it also, this is also something really interesting, is that what you think someone bought something for, or like why they bought it, is sometimes not actually why they bought it. Like, someone could be like a history buff, and they bought this place because like 2000 years ago at that location something happened in history. And you're like, whoa, I thought you bought it because there's like a public library here. You know what I mean? Or something like that, right? So, again, at the end of the day, SuperWorld's a world. It covers Earth, 0.01 longitude, latitude. Every place in the world is special, and you decide kind of what that is, that the value or the worth, or that's your decision. It's your property. It's interesting to me to hear the stories, and that's why we're doing this offer, where we'd love to hear the stories that you tell about why you love places on Earth, because so many places on Earth are so special, and we want to hear those stories. So we'd love to hear those stories from you. So if you think there's a place that's worth a lot, or you value it, please let us know why you value it.
Yeah, it just gave me an idea of which piece of land I want to purchase myself, so it was a very moving moment for me right now.
Yeah.
Just to mention, I want to buy a place where I made my first friends as a kid, and just had this first childhood freedom. I don't think anyone is planning to buy it because it's in the middle of nowhere in Poland, but for me it does mean a lot. So it just gave me some inspiration. Thanks. Let's move forward. Can I use SWX right now to buy land?
Yes. So each plot unpurchased goes for 1,000 SWX. And 1,000 SWX is worth $50, as I said. So if something is worth 1,000 SWX, will give you one unpurchased plot of land, and you can use SWX to buy land now. That's right.
So here's also a follow-up again on the Pepsi topic. Maybe we can use it as an example later in our materials in the future, since we see that it's catching up. So to use the Pepsi Center example again, if I own the location, can I offer Coke the chance to run ads for Coke in that location, or will Coke decide on their own to run ads in that location?
Yeah. So again, just to be clear, Kevin, and great questions. When you own virtual real estate in a location, it doesn't mean that you control that location. It means that you're a stakeholder in that location. You're a stakeholder in SuperWorld in that location. And a stakeholder meaning that you activate monetization in that location from all kinds of things, from digital commerce, e-commerce, advertising, from decentralized finance to analytics to gaming, to DeFi, to live and virtual events. And again, this is a digital media asset that you have that's in that location. And basically, anyone can put content in that location, whether it's Pepsi or it's Marta or Coca-Cola or another brand. Anyone can put anything anywhere. There's no restrictions on where you can create anything. We want you to create stuff everywhere. And ultimately, what's happening is we're launching a product called Worlds. It's always been part of our vision, but it's coming very soon. And Worlds is now going to enable you to have your own map of the world. And Sports Illustrated, if you see what we've done with Sports Illustrated, that's an example of a world, right? So if you click on the SI tickets, that's their world. It's a lot of events and things that are happening there. And a world is basically a way to add immersive content Web3 integrations, and AI integrations on the map. It's your personalized map of the world that you can share with your friends or your customers, and they can see your products and they can learn about what you're doing, and you can monetize because they can buy things from you. This is where SWX would come in. You could bring things from other worlds where you're like, oh, I really love his artwork. I'm going to sell his artwork in my world, right? You know, and so the idea is you can bring content from other worlds into your world, and so that's what it's all about.
Okay, another question. So, how does the owner sit back and make passive income on the site they own if they don't want to do the heavy lifting? So,
Mhm.
yeah.
So just to be clear, you know, SuperWorld is a virtual world where we actually are creating, discovering and monetizing, right? And the vision here is we want you to build the world with us, right? So I would not say it's a very passive experience per se, right? You got to do stuff, you got to come into Superworld. You might have to create content on your property to get views. You might have to share things to you know, get people to notice that there's an event happening on your property. So you know, it's a very active type of experience. But the beauty of it is, as I explained, is we want it to be very much part of your life. So it's not like you're doing something. So this was kind of the conceptual difference in what I was talking about play to earn and live to earn. So what you're thinking, Kevin, is maybe like more like play to earn, which is like, oh, I don't really want to play to earn. I just want to earn, right? You know what I mean? And what I'm talking about is I want you to just live your life and do things in the real world and do things that you love to do. Do those things, and we'll incentivize you to do more of those things. So that's where we're going when I say, you know, this is about taking action and doing things in your life and being active. I don't want Superworld to be this place where people are just like vegged out with like a headset on. Like, you know, this is like a world where I want you to live and do things and interact and be there, and physically mainly. And so that's a very important part of the vision of what we're building, and a very important part of the vision of live to earn, which is, you know, do things that you love to do. And so, you know, to kind of dig into that question, I want you to do those things and to be active and to enjoy those things, whatever that means for you. It doesn't mean it could be whatever you want to do. It's not like it's prescribed. Like you could tell us, hey, you know, I want to create an event, or I want to, you know, bring my philanthropy on board, and you know, Green Zone is a great example of a diplomat, does a ton of stuff for charity and recycling, and you know, so anything it is in your life, we want you to bring that into Superworld. So it's very much about taking action and building a better world. That's our motto, right?
Hrish, how do you imagine the price of SWX changing over time?
So it's an internal token, and we've set the price at 50 for 1,000 SWX. So it was set. It's not like you know, something that happened through some kind of market price change. That being said, I think your question could be, you know, why would we change it at some point then? Um, and that's a good question. You know, I think that ultimately, you know, the point of it is we want the community and, you know, the users or the buyers and sellers of SWX to utilize it in a way that optimizes, um, you know, transactions and commerce and engagement. Um, So, that would be, I think, the thing that we would be very focused on is it priced at a good price to utilize? And is it optimizing the experience? So that would be something that maybe we'll learn over time. So that might affect the change in price potentially. And then, like I said, there's potentially a future crypto public token that could be launched. But we just want to, again, be very diligent about that. And first and foremost, we want to build an internal token that's regulated, that our super citizens can use and transact in SuperWorld, and build that up over time, and then kind of go further with that. So that's what we're excited about.
How precise is the geotagging of content we place on virtual real estate?
Yeah, you can tag right to the GPS coordinate. I don't know how many decibel points it takes, but it takes a number of them. Yeah.
Okay, so that's it. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you see causing the price of SWX to change in time?
That we've just answered this question.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry, I'm also already a bit tired. So yes, you're right. Do you have examples of AI integration, or can you tell me how?
Yeah. So we are very interested in AI integration. We have one example of AI integration. I think it's webar.superworldapp.com. If you go to that link, and you can add a few words and change the color of the sky, or change the sky to be whatever you want. You could do it on your mobile phone. So go to that link on your mobile phone, webar.superworldapp.com. And it'll ask you to put in a few words, and if you have the blue sky that you're looking at, it'll change the color of the sky. But that's just an example. But where we're going to go with this is, how can I do the same thing and create a 3D digital object in front of you, or create a whole scene in front of you, or how can I integrate, a chat GPT into the search bar, so I can give you advice on the best places to go in your neighborhood based on things that you like to do, and maybe worlds that you visited. So, I think there's a lot of awesome things that AI is going to provide for us. Ultimately, look, I think the title of today's talk is Building the World You Love. And building the world you love is a world where, you can navigate that world in a way that's really easy. You can find things that you enjoy doing. You can, meet your friends. You can, plan. You can, see things around you. You can learn about things around you. So these are all examples of AI integration. I'm actually speaking next week at the Dubai Future Foundation about generative AI in SuperWorld. So yeah, lots of things to come on the AI side. I'm very excited about it.
Can you explain the interaction between the point system and SWX? I don't understand how they connect with one another.
Yeah, so it's just a different way of saying SWX, point system, SWX, points, loyalty points, currency, tokens. These are all just synonyms for the same thing. We just rolled this out. So, some of these terms are, I'll give you an example, King of Spinach. I like that name, by the way. When we first launched virtual real estate 4 years ago, 5 years ago, we started calling it AR real estate. And sometimes people still call it AR real estate. And then right after that, we started calling it virtual real estate, and then virtual real estate stuck. So SWX, can be called a token. It can be called a loyalty point system. It could be called, other such kind of similar names. So just to avoid confusion, yeah, we're all talking about the same thing, and you get points for doing things.
Will there be a peer-to-peer social network inside SuperWorld to help landowners develop land content, etc.?
Yes. Yes. We have a partnership with a number of developers, and we want to bring on a kind of a like a crowdsourced platform. There are several out there, and some of them have kind of changed their business model. Um, so we're likely not going to build one internally just yet, uh, unless there's a huge demand to like do that. We're probably going to integrate with others, so that way, if you want to build content or place content, you can work with a provider to do that. But yeah, we want to enable landowners to have an easy way to build content in Superworld, and some of that hopefully will be enabled with AI as well. But ultimately, yeah, I think that would be very useful to have a peer-to-peer way to build, kind of like a Fiverr to build, land content. And yeah, definitely, we'll probably achieve that through partnerships at first. We already have a number of developers that are interested in either building digital twins or building experiences. So if you want to build something custom, just come to us. We already have that set up, by the way. So there's something, you'd have to have a budget, obviously, if you want to build something more extravagant. But we have the capability to build almost anything you can think of.
When you say SWX is regulated by who? The SEC?
That's a really good question. Who is it regulated by? I'm sure it's regulated by all of the, various governmental parties and agencies that are required to release a token like this. I don't know the specific answer of whether it's the SEC or some other agency or authority. But like I said, we've introduced this through Tilia, which you could look up. TILLIA, and you can learn more about how it's regulated and how their service works. But yeah, and I'll probably find the answer to this, so I'll have it for a future thing. That's a great question, RWD. But that's kind of who's managing that for us, and they're great. They just got a big investment by JP Morgan, and so again, backed by one of the biggest banks in the world, and just a really great organization. They actually were a spin out of Second Life. So if you've heard of Second Life, they were kind of the back end for Second Life. And then spun out, but they're an amazing team, and they've helped us with constructing and launching our internal currency.
Can I be your super friends? Thank you both so much for doing this. Very exciting to see this roll out.
Of course, buddy. Definitely. We always, we're always, this is what SuperWorld's about. It's about SuperWorld, super friends, super citizens. Definitely just add the word super in front of any word. And the answer is yes.
If I place a 3D object onto my property or any property, how long does it last?
It's up to you. You can delete it if you want, or keep it there. It's persistent. So, and when Worlds launches, you'll have more kind of customization on that. But yeah, it's up to you.
Hrish, are you coming to the Propi Summit in Miami beginning of November?
I always love the Proppy Summit, so I haven't figured out my plans yet. But if I can make it, I definitely will. Natalia, the CEO of Proppy, it's a great friend. They do a really awesome conference, and Proppy is really focused on, bringing crypto to real estate. And SuperWorld again is also very very connected to physical real estate and virtual real estate. So yeah, it's a great conference, and that's where I met you, right, Ted? So yeah, looking forward to seeing you there. Hopefully I can make it.
Okay. What do you see as your main mass adoption strategy / value proposition? Alternatively, what do you see as your biggest hurdle to overcome to achieve this? Thank you. Congrats on the new launches.
Thanks, Evan. I think that one of the things that we're really trying to figure out is, over the last few years, what we've learned is people come to Superworld and they're very curious about these technologies, right? Whether it's AR, VR, NFTs, Web3, crypto, DeFi, AI, the metaverse, all of these different buzzwords or terms, right? And they come to Superworld and they're excited, and they might not completely understand all those terms, but when they come to Superworld, they don't necessarily have to understand those. All they really need to understand is, where do they live, where do they have a business, where do they go on vacation, where are places in the world that they're connected to, right? And they come to Superworld and they buy those locations, right? And this is just what most users do, right? They come to Superworld and they're like, look, I'm trying to figure this out, but I definitely know I need some Dubai. It's like the conversation I had on Monday, and so they buy up Dubai, or they buy up Austin, like we're showcasing this week. So they buy these locations. That's their entry point. Okay. And okay. And so once they've done that, and by the way, one of the things that we need to do is make that entry point easier for people to understand, and we're working on that. And hopefully these kind of webinars accomplish that mission, so you get them to the entry point. Now, once they've done that, their next question to us is, okay, so I bought up some Austin, or I have some Dubai. What can I do next, right? And so we've spent the last year or so improving and building more things for people to do in Superworld. And again, with the vision of connecting your physical life and your virtual life. And so one of the first things that's been around for a while that we kind of improved this year with WebAR is the ability to add content in real world locations utilizing only your web browser, your mobile web, or your desktop browser. And so that's one thing. Number two, we launched digital twins. So now you can build a 3D digital twin of a building or a piece of real estate you have. And we're continuing to expand that. Or you want to build something totally custom, we could do that too. And then the other thing we just launched recently is called Business Profiles. And if you can put that on the screen, Business Profiles is a way for business owners to come into Superworld and create a profile for their business, increase the SEO for their website, get their business more well-known. And we've already seen this work, actually. We'll release some case studies on this for several businesses that are already using this and have gotten up in their SEO, because Superworld has really great SEO. And so by creating Business Profile, now they're being found on the web. And now with the launch of Worlds, these businesses can now add content and create their own worlds and things. So, and more, right? The SWX and, the other products that we've are rolling out and have come out that people can do in real world locations, such as 3D content, the AI stuff I was talking about, NFT integrations, loyalty programs. There's a lot of things that you can do. And what we need to do is, now really put our attention to, how do we get people to come back every day, and why do they want to come back and come to Superworld? And again, our mission is to enable you to build a world that you love. That's like right on the top of the screen today, right? And so if you've built a world that you love and you're spending time in the real world and you're benefiting from this, well, that's I think our strategy. So we got to figure out what the sweet spot of that is in terms of, our users, and really build what they want. And so we've talked to our users a fair bit. We have our diplomat program, and so that's kind of what we're honing into now. And again, this webinar is an example of talking to you every week and learning from you. So I appreciate that question, and thanks again for the positive words about our launches. I appreciate it. Hopefully you like the products, and we'll get you, give us feedback.
Hrish, when do you imagine the next session? The next session will be for digital twins.
It's a good question, because I think, I don't know if this has been announced yet, but Anarfi, maybe you're psychic, because I think the next session might be on digital twins. So we're just kind of figuring that out, but coming soon for sure. Either next one or the next one after that.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So I think this was the last question. I don't see anything new popping up.
Yeah.
So if you guys have any questions, just yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
One point on Evan's question that I forgot to mention is worlds. I think worlds is going to be the thing, and I'm excited about worlds, because once we launch worlds, Evan, I want you to create a world for your business. I want people to start creating worlds, and I want to see how that works, because I think, being able to have this Web3 AI and immersive technology enabled map of the world that you can personalize and monetize and jump into in 3D and visualize in the real world around you, that's going to be extremely powerful. So I'm excited about that. And coming in and changing that map every day, or adding information to the map, or being able to do that in real time if I'm somewhere in the real world, right? Like I can do it when I'm in the real world. I can do it on my desktop at home. I can do it in a 3D environment as an avatar. Like, you can do all kinds of stuff that's coming. So, and I've seen the 3D stuff I've already seen, and I'm pretty excited about it. I was looking at it tonight. It looks pretty cool. So yeah, that I think, just to touch a little bit more on that question, it was a good question.
Okay, so yeah, if you guys have any more questions, just please write us on customer support at superworldapp.com, or connect with us on socials or Telegram, Discord, wherever you would like. We are there. And I think, this is the end of the session for today. Thank you for all the amazing questions. It was a great discussion. Thank you for all your input. And we are really thrilled to see that so many people are excited about SuperWorld and about all the new features that we have launched and that we are planning to launch soon. So thank you, everybody. And a few words from you, Hrish, for the end.
Yeah, thank you so much for your support. And, it's amazing how we all are so excited about building in SuperWorld and the vision of SuperWorld, first and foremost. And over time, Live to Earn will become part of our lives, and I'm excited about that, and excited about like every step of kind of building to that, because I think it's very positive to benefit from doing what you love. So if you're excited about like doing what you love and being able to build a livelihood from doing things that you enjoy doing, this is what our vision is in SuperWorld, and also improving the world. So again, it's all part of Live to Earn. So if you're excited about that, I surely am, and I appreciate your support. So thanks again for being here tonight.
Okay, thank you, Hrish. And yeah, next week, as far as I know, you are at a conference. So the next webinar will be in 2 weeks, as well, on a Thursday at 10:30 p.m. So this is also just an update for you guys. We're staying. We just have a short pause, but then we have time to do other important things to prepare for you for the future. So yeah, thank you much. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great day, evening, morning, wherever you are, and see you soon. Thank you once again very much, all of